Hello, my name is Jumpin' Jeff slash Ninja Unicorn, depending where you know me from, and today, finally, I know you've waited for this for a long time, and to anyone who sees this outside of Coconut Meme, basically, I had a lot of stuff come up in real life right before I was going to do this VOD review, and I finally got around to it. I've settled down on a good schedule, and I think I'm ready to take this on and take the time to do it correctly, and hopefully this will be really helpful for players that are in that low platinum and high gold tier, especially ones at 3 sec, and be able to see how the dynamic works and what are things you want to be looking out for, and to pay attention to what's happening to yourself, and sometimes why it's important to focus on yourself rather than listening to the calls all the time, or and making that clear to your team, or sometimes it's better to work with your team despite of the state you're in. All depends, and we'll break down to when and why within this VOD review.
What you're doing, and
Alright,
I'm gonna
so
see if I can.
we're running Gibby, Gibby, Wraith, and Bloodhound.
Sure.
Standard composition, it's a really great one.
Alright. I'm
going sweat mode then.
Okay, I'll show
I'm gonna say some
first thing I'm
racist
noticing,
shit.
we're not looking around at all, really.
Let's make a choice.
Like,
we're going to.
your teammates are doing that for you, but you want to make sure that you look.
But
look, this is the first time that you look behind you, and maybe it has to depend with, hey, we knew we were gonna land at Spotted Lake as soon as we got into the map, and that's great. But you still want to know where people are landing, where a majority of the action is going to be taking place, and making sure to make plans for where you guys want to rotate, who's going to contest you, and where you may have to land on the fly as soon as you get to your area, right?
Here we go. Ready up.
So yeah, we're free looking, but we want to make sure, be much sobriety. We're looking at the right side, but we gotta look at our left, because eventually teams are gonna come from pit. They're gonna be coming from runoff. They're gonna be coming from even
No.
Can't think of the name right now. That place over
there.
there.
I see three.
yeah, four now. Okay, I'm landing far. I am not going to contest 4 squads and meet up with shitters.
Yeah, I'm landing on X building.
This is a great call. So, something I want to talk about here. Great call. This is why we look around and make sure not to just look around and be like, okay, they're there. Adjust your game plan according to what's happening. Realizing you guys can get to these 4 buildings first is super crucial, because all the other teams are going to take the buildings closer to each other, meaning they're going to fight each other, waste resources, be low on ammo or health, and maybe even be down to a few people. And this lets you clean up really easily and get some free KP.
Yeah, every single squad landed before us.
I'll get those 3 bins, and I'll also get this outside building here.
Okay. Just tell me what you guys get.
Mastiff.
Okay.
And one thing I'm gonna note:
30-30, and I have it.
There we go. So that's our first jump slide. We want I could point this out later, but I want to talk about it now before the game starts. Making sure that we optimize our movement and looting. What you're gonna notice a lot within this video is that we take a lot of time to look at what we're looting, especially early on. You don't need to do that. When you first land and you're just trying to grab stuff, you have 8 slots, and you also have what you can carry immediately on you, like a body armor on yourself, 2 guns, attachments will attach to the guns if applicable, right? So we don't need to be worrying about, managing our inventory right from the get-go. We can do that while on the move later on as we're moving in towards those fights. For now, you want to be acquiring as much loot as quickly as possible so that you can get to those third parties and get an optimized push onto them, rather than, taking that extra second loot. Oh, now they revived. Oh, it was a lifeline. They're healing and they're ready. And now they have better shields because they just fought a team, right? Instead of being able to take it, and they got those shields healed, importantly. Unlike where if we just got looted fast and got there as soon as possible, we could have capitalized on them and could have actually got way easier free KP, or potentially lived. That could have been the difference in you guys living or dying. Not that you do right away, but in a hypothetical.
Ooh, I found a hemlock with a gold on that.
2 of us need shields.
Sorry, I meant to mark the second one.
I got my shield.
Yeah, see, so because we're looking, we're kind of in this weird state right now, right? Where you know that you want to loot fast, but you're not, because you're like, oh, I'm looking for specific items, but I have to be fast. And what that's creating is that you're missing items. Like, light ammo, with an alternator, with any automatic gun, you can go through it super fast. Especially in the early game, you might not get light ammo for a good while. So, making sure that you pick it up and just grab it, just move your mouse around, just swing it around like boom, 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 and just spam E, right? Or for controller like I am, square, 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 square. And it's much easier to pick up everything and then drop anything that you don't need than it is to take the time to pick up and then and have the inventory right from the first time. Sounds weird, but it's because you can do the first one on the move, and you don't have to think, and you can move to area to area, accumulate fast.
Hostile close.
Sorry, I can mark the second one.
I got my
So
shield.
one thing I want.
Shields. Two of us need shields.
So that's something very important that I recommend to anyone who's playing with a team, and even by solo queue. Pay attention to what your teammates have, right? Like, he noted that his teammate noted, hey, two of us don't have shields. This is going to change a lot of how you approach the fight, because if you guys don't have shields, you know, that's not, and you can't find one, why would you take that? That's a dumb decision to take a fight. Even if they may be down a member, if two of you don't have shields at 100 health, they still have 200 health. They might have 300 plus health because they have shields, full health, and probably better shields, meaning they have even more, and that makes up for the deficit. And that's something they can heal much faster too, right? Like, if you die with only 100 health and you do 100 damage to them, if they have a blue shield, that's only 25 health missing. Pop a shield battery and you're back in the fight. A revive takes much longer, and you only bring them back to 30 health. So these are things you want to consider before you take a fight, and make sure you're taking note of if you plan to take it, especially when working with a team.
Hostile close.
Sorry, I can mark the second one.
I got my shield.
I would ping the armor there, you know, just helping your
Okay, we don't have the best shit. We
Doesn't
can tell you
hurt
that,
to
but,
ping.
you know, there's nothing we can do other than third party right
Do you
now.
want to swap with me? Because I already have damage reduction. I already have damage reduction.
Alright,
Explore this way.
So we notice here, right? Let's
So
go
that's
for
the
a
third party.
while here.
okay, we don't have the
I want
best.
you to know
I
something.
got my shield. I got my shield. I got my helmet.
Okay, we don't have the best shit. We can tell you that, but, you know, there's nothing we can do other than third party right
Do you
now.
want to swap with me? Because I already have damage reduction. I already have damage reduction.
Alright,
Explore this way.
Thanks.
careful though, you have bleed through on your shield though.
That's the first time we did a slide jump in probably the past 30 seconds. Now this seems like, okay, so what? But the problem is, you can, in that time span, you probably could have fit 4 or 5, maybe even 5 slide jumps into there. And if you optimize your slide jumps, which helps you increase your distance, you would probably be right next to him, if not ahead of him, if you did it optimally. And this is going to be super important because we'll see that we might miss a few free KP that we could have had if we did the slide jumps.
One of you, or we need to be aware of behind us, because there's fights going off at runoff, and we can easily be flanked at that point.
Right? See? You don't do it until you see him
Alright,
do
let me
it.
know when I should scan.
Now!
You want to make sure that movement, optimizing little things, becomes second nature first, so then we can focus on bigger ideas, such as positioning and coordination, team firing, how specific aim movement with different guns, right? And ADSing versus hip fire. These are things that we can focus on specifically if we optimize our out of fight movement, or rather just covering distance, because you could be in a fight and the slide jumps can make the difference behind you getting cover, but we can focus on other things instead and capitalize on good opportunities. So let's talk about this scan really quick. Let me put my headset on. I haven't had it on just because I just kind of been listening through it on the outside, but
Point.
Alright, let me know when I should
so
scan.
So you heard a sound, I believe that's evil or something, to your left. You're asking for when you should scan. You should know that sound isn't coming from your team because your team's right in front of you. You should hear that it comes from the left, and you want to make sure that you're looking to your left and scanning in the direction that you hear the enemies. Because what Bloodhound's really good for is that often there's a lot of times where you just kind of guesstimate where the enemy is rather than knowing where they are exactly. This helps alleviate that game sense and basically gives you wall hacks, right? So making sure that you know where to scan and how to scan. Make sure it's in the direction. It's in a cone, so it starts off narrow and it widens out, but make sure it's in the general direction. Otherwise, you're gonna get a no scan like you do here.
Now.
Marking our surroundings.
Wrong way.
Reloading.
There's 2 dead here. It's solo. Push. He's in this corner.
So watch that. So see, because our movement's optimized and we're kind of like waiting for call out to happen instead of knowing what we should be doing. We miss on all the KP there. Now obviously your friend Evil Junkie I believe only got 1. I'm helping out both, but you got 0 out of that, which is gonna hurt because if you died, remember there's 3-4 other teams here, which is something we could argue that you shouldn't be laying with that many teams. But I think it's actually really good because it teaches you a lot of things of how to minimize the RNG factor and optimize how you can get out, how you can win those situations when RNG does not favor you. So, want the optimized movement, knowing where enemies are, which is to your left, meaning they're gonna have to be in this lower section or right on top of where the ladder is. They have to be in this section, and we don't have to do this long flank, which costs you KP.
Nice.
That
All dead.
hemlock is so cheesy.
From exhaustion. Hey, try it.
That hemlock is so cheesy.
So, yeah, so we hear them. Let's go back. We can hear them sometimes. I'm gonna pitch.
Nice.
That
Dead.
hemlock is so cheesy.
This is where at some point around here, I heard the stim earlier, but this is where I'm like, oh, it's getting closer to us.
From exhaustion. Hey, try it.
That hemlock is so cheesy.
It took us a 5 seconds to react to that. We should know that this is where you just came from. You hear an Octane stim coming from behind. Make sure that you're reacting properly to this, right? Make sure that you're aware. And if you're aiming at the window already, this could be free damage that you get onto this Octane. But instead we're kind of late to react. We're spending our time looting. The loot's going to be there afterwards. Unless it's something you direly need, a shield swap, some from no mag to purple mag, whatever the case is, or a purple bolt from no bolt. Those are important things that you can grab really fast, but make sure that you know what you're prioritizing. And if you hear an enemy coming up, screw the loot, focus on the enemy. Pretty decent shots. We got a knock here because of those shots.
He's dead.
So
Yo, I cracked. Hit him with 98.
yeah, so here, you got great damage on here. This is something I want to discuss. Be careful with this. People, especially with a gun like the Havoc, because if they don't have turbocharger, they just have there's that charge up time. So people will just hold down the bullets. If you see bullets flying like this, see how it's just flying? Don't peek this right now. You just got sonar scanned, and he was already shooting. He's most likely not going to let go right away. Don't take the unnecessary damage because you get good damage onto him here, but there's more likely chance that he kills you and makes this a 2v2.
Yo, I cracked. Hit him for 98 flash. I hit him for 98.
Yo, push together, push together. Oh.
Yeah, we can push it.
Go. You don't fuck me. I cracked Octane. Octane's dead again. I'm cute.
Funny enough, actually, if we want to talk about this,
Push together. Oh.
Here's something where we have to make sure that we know what we're doing here, right? And something I want to talk about is shield swaps, right? So just as I said, there's a prioritize of loot. You also have to know what you didn't loot and what you did loot. So for example, in this box here, we should have known that there is a full white shield in here because your teammates have blue. They're not going to take this white. There's also a white in this corner. It may have been shield swapped, especially because someone just died over here. But we guarantee this is white. When you're cracked like this and you're like, I want to push, I don't want to push, I'm not sure what to do. You want to stick it with your team, but put yourself in a position where you're going to succeed. In that case, it's going to be grabbing the white armor really quick. And you can do that while you're on the move, right? You run by it, hold E. As you're running, turn your mouse and switch keys. Hit left click, escape, now turn around and you're running into it. Because if you have that white armor, you live, and the fight isn't as close as it becomes.
Yeah, we can push it.
Go. You're done.
Funny. Here's the funny part. He said, "Oh, your dome fucked me," but what he doesn't realize is that his dome saved him. Like, that was a great dome, actually. Beautiful dome. It's underappreciated because, you know, all the Wraith can see is, I missed shots that could have saved my life, or it could have got me a kill. It blocked me.
Don't fuck me. I cracked Octane. Octane's dead again. I'm queuing up. Alright, it's one left. It's all you, Eli.
I'm lagging.
You got this.
Dude, he kept trying to melee me.
Perfect.
He kept trying to melee me and then missed all of his melees, and I would have died because I was on like 2 health. But oh my god, that's funny. Oh, he missed everything.
So, yep, we have. This was great scam, by the way. I don't know.
Oh, he missed everything. That's more.
Yep.
Oh, he's running.
So right here, we saw him running, and that's a call. Because he's running, this means you can heal. Look, this is something you have to pay attention to too, and something I saw you kind of ignoring. Look at our inventory now. We have 3 medkits, 4 syringes, 1 cell. Right now, most likely that your teammates looted faster than you and grabbed all the stuff. You need to be calling out, guys. I only have 1 cell. I need shields. I only have 1 cell because this is gonna hurt you later because you don't have any cells and you have to take a really bad fight because your team makes a push. But calling out for the resources will help you make smarter decisions and helps you prepare for the upcoming fights instead of having to do, ask for it on the fly or make optimized armor swaps when you could just heal.
Oh, he's running. We have time to heal.
Yeah, I'll take care of him. You guys do your thing. Oh, he is not a solo. The rest of it, they're the team that came from runoff.
Remember, you can right click there.
That I was talking about.
What do we do?
I need to loot really quickly. Alright, come with me into this building here.
So we're kind of being unproductive right now with what we're doing, right? Something that I would recommend is that you want to start voicing your opinion and what you think you should be doing. You want to be actively thinking rather than just turn your brain off and just listening to someone, right? Because it's very easy when someone's in-game leading, they're IGLing, that you just want to listen to what they say and go with the flow, right? Now, in some cases, you have support players who are supposed to be like that. They just every now and then will pitch in an idea, but for the most part, they just go with what's happening or what the IGL ends up on. But until until you're at that high of a level where their things will make sense to you or things that you agree with, they'll still voice their opinions. One, if they believe that a play is wrong or if there's information that's missing when making that decision. But 2, when you contest your IGL's ideas and when you think for what's happening yourself, it helps you make those decisions faster in your own games. It also helps you figure out what you need to be doing right now. Because right now, what we should be doing is we should be scanning and figuring out where these enemies are. Because we know they were south last time we saw them, but we don't know where they are now. We don't have a game plan. Wraith is trying to think of everything while playing for herself, and that's going to hurt her performance, and it may make her make a bad decision because she has to think of so many things while still trying to play at her best, right? So making sure that you alleviate some of that weight and also help create objectives for yourself and ways to help the team and be productive with your time rather than just sitting there twiddling your thumb watching angles that they aren't coming from.
My shields are recharged.
I wish we could scan beacon, but that won't happen. They're on top of that building. They're pushing up. What was that fuse hold?
What? A really shitty one.
Ooh, yeah.
They're queuing up, guys. Careful. Get on me. Just all of you get on me.
I'm taking shots.
One's above.
So,
Guys, all three of us go above. Dead. Oh my god, they're just... Oh, I got Eva. That's why I got 114 by Neva. Holy.
so let's talk.
All of
about
you get on.
here, right? So, we go. Let's talk about this fight. I think this fight's really good to break down, slowly but surely, but I think there's a couple key things that we need to be talking about.
They're pushing up. What was that fuse hold?
What? A really shitty one.
One, you know, this is just a mistake with sights. Make sure that you're prioritizing what weapon you want to put the sight on. In this case, if you want to put the 1x on your R31 since you'll be close, make sure that you drag off and throw away the 2x sight, because it's going to transfer to a gun that it can attach to if the other gun does not already have a sight. Just a little knowledge that you can use to your advantage.
They're queuing up.
2, we should be popping ult. We just got ultimate. As soon as we see that a fight's happening, you should be ready to pop this thing. In this, like, because we still have no information.
Up, guys, careful. Get on me. Just
we need to be scanning. We need to be figuring out what the hell is happening right now. We know that he's pushing us, but we're Bloodhound and we're not using we're not taking advantage of what Bloodhound brings. We're just kind of like, well, we kind of know where they are, but not really. We don't know how they're pushing us, because what if we scan here? We know that the guy's on roof, and we don't take all the unnecessary damage, and we can avoid, and we can make a better decision as how to push this fight rather than the way that we end up doing.
Just all of you get on me.
Secondly, we know this guy's on the roof, right? You need to know that this is a bad angle, and that you cannot take the angle that you're about.
One's above.
See this angle? You can't be taking it right now. It's this is like you're never gonna win your shots here. You can barely see him, let alone hit your shot on the head glitch properly, while he has full view of your body. This is what we call positioning, right? Is that he has cover and he can just back off and crouch, and you have nowhere to go except take the bullets when he wants it to.
Guys, all three of us go above.
See, and this was a bad call, right? Now, and the reason it's a bad call, obviously, is because you're injured. You have no shields. You guys have barely done any damage. I would right now be seeing no. Like, get out. But because you don't have any shields, right now it's the middle of a fight, you really can't ask. There's no armor swap. You just kind of go with the call. You have to go with the call. And these are the previous mistakes that we set ourselves up for that forces us into these terrible situations. And you're like, how do I prevent this from happening? I keep dying all the time. I think it's because my aim, most of the time, and what you'll see through this video, your aim is not bad. You're hitting a lot of your shots when they're present. It's putting yourself in that position to succeed that is a problem, and is inhibiting your ability to climb, or inhibiting your ability to perform as well as you want to. Also, unlucky we bumped into each other. So now we're in this awkward situation. We bumped into each other. We didn't know where they really were, and we thought there was just one on the roof. In fact, there was two. Fuse got up here, and now we're in a 1v2 with no shields. Or sorry, 2v2. Both of you have no shields. Neither are cracked. It's a really messy situation.
Dead. Oh my god.
And that's what's going to lead to a squad wipe here, right? So taking control of making sure you get the resources you need, making sure your movement is optimized so you can get to positions that you want, using your Bloodhound scan to figure out what's the best way to push a fight, or how to approach it, or disengage if they have a really good position you didn't think of, and making sure that you put yourself in a position to succeed via attachments alone, right? Like we saw that. Last thing I wanted to touch on, and also something that we can discuss. Watch how our movement here.
Dead.
Now, you might think, oh, there wasn't much I could do there. You know, I kind of was just dead. Our main thing, but the problem is that one, you're holding out ADS the entire time. While that tightens the spread, while that does tighten the spread, it also makes you way slower and way easier to hit. Two, you're running straight at the enemy. Never do that. Even if the enemy, you know, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I gotta make these notifications. I thought it was just one. But even if it's a almost doomed situation, you should never be doing that. One, hip fire should be used here as it increases your move speed by a lot, and you're still gonna hit a majority of your damage. And two, you want to make sure that you're always strafing left and right, making it as hard as it is to kill you. Because let me tell you, the amount of situations I've lived or I've won because everyone thought I was dead, but I played with movement out of my mind is unreal. People give up really easily. That was the movement of I give up, we lost this fight. Never give up, because as you might lose and you'll be like, why did I try? Because guess what? There could be 10 times that situation, but one time that guy whiffs his shots really bad and you dodge all his bullets really well and you kill him, and then you somehow, and next thing you know, you clutch up out of nowhere, right? That's why you always want to put your full effort in your dodging and strafing.
Oh my god, they just... Oh, I got Eva, that's why I got 114 by Neva. Holy shit.
So that's game one.
Unless
I believe we just do one more game.
Eli wants.
So I disagree with Ned here. He got really salty that his bubble prevented his kill from happening right away, and he doesn't realize that if he looked back, this bubble is what saved his ass and actually probably what guys gave you the fight. So I disagree with this analysis of Wraiths, but you know what? It happens. We all look at, sometimes we're just like, we think we're right at the moment but then it turns out if we look back, we're wrong. And that's why it's important to look back at our own videos, because sometimes it's much easier and more helpful to look at it from a clear mind and not in the heat of the moment in order to actually learn, or rather than when your adrenaline's high, you're just thinking, go, go, go. You're thinking about what just happened, you know, what are direct concepts you can grab right here, right now, rather than overarching ideas.
Wait,
Bloodhound is what?
so you could VOD review my Wraith.
Alfonso, I saw fucking TikTok. It's
What?
gonna be all damage.
So,
Yeah.
like, Shumpmaster. Yeah, it seems like we are a Spotted Lake team, which I can respect. There's two ways that we can go about this, right? We can be going about the route of one spot. I know the spot by like the back of my hand, and I like it, but obviously there's downsides where when 4 teams land there, especially somewhere as popular as Spotted Lake, it can make it really hard to climb. So I can respect that, and it's something I'm trying out more myself because I think it is an interesting thing. It's really interesting and makes you better at the early game, but it can hurt your RP gains otherwise. The other method is to constantly look back and see where people may have missed spots and taking your route from there. But there's also risk to that, depending on if a lot of people decide to do that in one lobby. So pick your poison. This is just part of what you have to deal with. But once again, we don't really free look here.
Alright, so...
Finally do.
Attention. First blood.
Solo.
One stop. No.
It's a trio. It's a
Either-
trio. It's just they're split off.
Come on, get in the ring, compadres.
We have. Wait, did one just try and like not comfortable with it? Probably solo queuing, but you know.
Why would
In-
you solo queue in rank?
Just get on me.
Why
I'll-
would you solo queue in rank?
It's a roll that's dead. Aye, 99 hit shotter. You're dead. You're dead to me, sir. Fuck you.
Oh, just downed him.
I know skill here. It's kind of funny.
Massive.
So, it seems like, I'm not sure, your sound setup might be something off. We want to make sure that we have the correct sound settings. Make sure that we have good headphones that can tell us directions of above, below, straight on the same level as us, and the different cardinal directions of in front of us, to our right, left, behind, right? We want to make sure that we have that surround and make sure that we can optimally figure out where people are. So if you're playing on a TV or without a headset, you know, just listening through the monitor, make sure that we get, I would highly recommend getting a headset. It helps so much. And literally, I used to play Call of Duty for years without a headset. And then I picked one up right before I went competitive and quite literally rocked my world. I think it's how I got a good. I think it's funny because I think it's how I got a good game sense is because without sound, I kind of had without footsteps, I kind of had to figure out know where people were, without that advantage. But if the advantage is there, definitely use it. It's super helpful. It's a skill that's always able to be, well, depends on how you see Apex sound engineers, but it's a tool that should always be available to you. And it can help you determine many things, such as a res, whether it's a reviver from the ship, people are landing on you from a balloon, what direction they're approaching from, what kind of guns they're using, all stuff you can figure out just from sound. And you want to be able to know what direction it's coming from so you can make an optimal play. You know, on one hand, you might hear a res coming from the north and you might want to push it. On the other hand, the north also might be where you hear a Kraber sound. I do apologize for these notifications. But you want to make sure that you have the correct sound settings and the correct sound equipment.
He's walking up here. 2 of them. Look.
So, see, this is another thing. Sound would be really helpful because it seems like you're lost and you don't know where they are. You hear them on the right.
Oh, one.
See, this is something we should have known. We should have known that this guy was in this direction. But you were surprised. We knew for about 10 seconds. And you were surprised that he was right there. Oh, on me. Instead of be pre-aiming and be able to shoot him as soon as he gets there.
Yeah. I'm behind her. Nice.
Enemy down.
Finish her. You guys do it. Nice. Alright, let me get that. I want it.
Octane up here.
Yep, I'm working. He's dead.
No.
Nice.
Oh, I missed so many maps. It was on the reloading. They had a flat and anvil if someone wants it.
Charging up my shields.
Give me my shields to recharge.
Do you guys see any optics by any
Gotta
chance?
heal. Taking a knee.
I saw it 3 times back, but
Just how I like it.
That doesn't go to the vault though.
oh, Volt. All right. I'm Ironside on both of my guns. I'm fine with the master, but the R9 I'm not comfortable with. The R9 I'm not comfortable with Ironside. Like, I can fuck with it, I use it, but... Alfonso, there are like 5 wingmans.
I thought there was a fight sooner.
It was actually you guys.
Alfonso, there's a 3 times.
Take it.
Wait.
Let's explore this way.
I thought for a second I saw an enemy, but it was actually you guys.
Alfonso,
8.
for me, AR sights, or mid-range sights, I looted like...
Let's explore this way.
This building that much.
So,
Warning.
Watch yourself.
Good. Wait. Coming.
Yeah, I'm coming.
So we have to be aware. This is why we pay attention to where other teams land beyond our own place, right? Because now people are gonna start rotating in, especially when they hear that fight from earlier. They're gonna be like, they're gonna make their way slowly, surely. We know teams were in diving board. We also know teams were at containment, and so we need to be prepared for that and know that that's coming instead of being surprised. So look at our inventory now. The grenades are fine, especially because there's an upcoming fight. But I would drop 6 of those syringes. We don't need that many syringes. We have 2 medkits already. 2 medkits, 2 slots. That's all you should need for direct heals to your character. Definitely need way more shields. We only have 4 cells and a bat. You need to be asking your teammates. It seems like we lose track of this a lot. Of okay, how many cells, how many bats, and tell them and be like, I only have a bat and 4 cells, and they'll share with you, especially if you're teamed up. It's sometimes harder in solos because people are like, no, it's my resources. But if you're working with a team, make sure to take advantage of that.
Wait. Did someone just jump at him? No, right here, right here.
I'm on my
Get on me. Get on me.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Full team inside. Ah, fuck, I don't have longbow.
Target over there.
Guys, climb up with me here.
Yeah, right now, so this is a perfect opportunity, right? You need to tell your in-game leader, your Gibraltar, hey, I need to heal for a second. Slow down. Like, hold on, I'm popping a cell, right? Because right now, he assumes that you're gonna full run at these enemies right now. And he's making that decision alone, and he may not pay attention because no one's responding to him and just listening. He doesn't have any feedback to work with except his own. And if sometimes they'll pay attention and be like, oh shoot, wait, my team's not here, or sometimes they'll just push and then they'll die and be alone and no one to train them out or to help them.
He ulted, but then...
I know.
So notice how Octane's popped a cell while you didn't, and now you're at 150 health when you have the resources to be at 175 health, which could be the difference in winning or losing a fight. Take that 2.5 seconds. Your Gibraltar can wait at it. I promise.
Cracked. He's one. I'm in there. Guys. Nice. 1v2.
So, what next here? So,
He's down on bottom floor. He's bottom floor.
I'm bottom. I died. Right here, Octane. Guys, we need to play together.
Come on.
Getting shot at.
You're on a different guy. What?
alright. So, this is a fight that broke down, and what should be the strength of having a pre-made was not utilized in any shape, way, or form. So let's break down this fight and what happened, right?
Cracked. I know.
So, get here, we're getting ready to fight. Gibraltar's ahead. We had a good shot, we missed, but that's fine.
Cracked. He's one. I'm in there.
So, right away, we know we cracked 2 players. 2 are super low, and you guys actually have decent health, and everyone's jumping in. You need to be calling out what you want to do. If you're getting shot at, say shoot this guy. If you want to chase the kills, which I think would be the correct play, hey, kill the Bloodhound. Chase the Bloodhound, kill the Bloodhound. Because we need to make a move, because we all jumped down, but now from here on out, we all have different ideas of what's happening.
Guys.
Look at this.
Nice.
3 different ideas. We have Octane who wants to go up all the way. We have Gibraltar who's on the ground or on the middle floor, like trying to heal probably. And we have you who is unsure, and now we're going up, right?
1v2.
From this spot here, you guys, what you need to be calling out is everyone needs to heal. You need to be calling out dome and heal. Dome and heal. Because you guys have the man advantage. Healing is so much quicker, and that Octane or the Bloodhound's near you guys. All you have to do is put cover and heal, and either force them to make a really bad push, or to let you guys heal and have a 3v2 at near full health. That's what you guys want, and you have a shield battery. Instead, we don't utilize this, and we just kind of run around.
He's down on bottom floor. He's bottom floor.
I'm bottom. I died. Right here, Octane. Guys, we need to play.
Yeah, we're saying we need to play together, but no, everyone's calling out. They're calling out names, but they're not saying what to do. We're not saying where and who to push. We need to be calling that out as a team, and that's something you can step in to do. Yes, he's IGL, but you can take initiative. You can take notice, and when things are falling apart, stand up and be like, all right, look at the Watson, look at the Watson, look at the Watson, or look at the fuse, look at the fuse, look at the fuse. Something like that, right? it may be annoying sometimes. I know I can sound annoying, and because of IGL, but I co IGL a lot too, especially if the other person is, or even play support, depending on how dominant the other players are. I can change my role, but I still give my peace of mind if I think something different or if I notice something different. That's the key thing that you want to learn to do, regardless of how active you normally are within the discussion.
Play together.
Come on!
Yeah.
Shot at.
You're on a different guy.
Last thing with Wraith Q, you want to hug the left wall. You want to hug left. If you could hear that he goes right, hug left. Make sure that to try to get it off, and then try to heal. But really, we should have been healed before, and we probably could have even win that fight if we healed up. So, yeah. So, talk about a couple things, like a little bit of an overview. One, make sure we optimize our movement. Our slide jumps be really good. We want to know where we're going. And these are things that you want to work on because this will help you put yourself up for success. Two, we want to make sure our sound settings are correct because a lot of the things that we hear are not being reacted to, or it looks like we're lost and we're not sure what we're hearing. We want to make sure our sound settings are correct so that we can use it. We can use it to our advantage, and once again, position ourselves differently, place our crosshairs ready for where they should be coming from, all that good jazz. 3, let's make sure we're using Bloodhound, because I didn't even talk about in that fight really, but once again, we're Wraith here, so we didn't really have a chance to, but we want to make sure that we're using legends that we can utilize our ability on, and for specifically Bloodhound, that we're gaining that information for ourselves and for our team. Fourthly, speak up. You almost never spoke throughout this video, throughout these 2 games. Make sure that they may be higher ranked. That doesn't matter. Your opinion and what your thoughts are just as important, and can be just as helpful. Will be more helpful than if you don't speak. Now, obviously, if you're clouding up with just casual talk of how your day or blah 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 during a fight, no, don't do that. What I'm talking about is if you want to inject something that you're thinking about while you're playing, do it. It's better to do that. Last but not least, I think the aim is actually I think obviously you want to work on aim. You want to keep it up to a certain standard, but I think aim is actually one of your least worries, especially as a gold player on gold/low plat, right? What you want to be prioritizing a lot more are these outside factors that let you succeed in the first place. Fine. I think those are the main things. I go obviously in more specifics depending on what the situation is within as I'm talking and what I see. But let me know if you have any questions, or anyone who's watching it, just leave a question in the comment or DM me on Discord. If you want to find me on Discord, I am NNJ Unicorn. Hashtag 1048. You can also find me under the coach tab in Apex University. I may not always get to your response right away, but I will do my best to. Or you may see me in a couple of calls. I'm very active within the community itself. Just hop in, shoot me a question, and I'll do my best to answer it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you at the next VOD review. All right. Peace.